Ninja Gaiden is the first video game ending that really affected me on an emotional level. You have to remember, the most old school endings looked like this, or even this. So seeing a fully realized story brought to life with pixel graphics was kind of a big deal. This wasn't just a series of levels and boss fights, but a real character that I got to know through a dozen or more wonderfully crafted cinema scenes. Today we're going to spend a few minutes telling Ryu Hayabusa's story and looking at 1989's most epic ending. Now is the time to look away if you don't want to know what happens next, because this is the debut episode of 23 Endings, the early years. For a guy who went on to star in 2 8-bit sequels, a reboot series, and a bunch of Dead or Alive games, you might think that Ryu Hayabusa was a great ninja right from the start. He was not. Mere moments after landing in the United States, the poor guy was literally shot by a young woman and then imprisoned in an underground cell. But don't worry, she's not working for the evil forces that supposedly killed the elder Hayabusa and brought the kid to the US. She just has a special mission for Ryu. Take this rare statue and get the hell out. He does just that, finding his way out of the isolated prison and making it to a mountain pass in order to find an old archaeologist named Walter Smith. This turns out to be a buddy of Ryu's father, and would you look at that, he knows all about that mysterious stolen statue. But this artifact comes with a dark story about an expedition to some old Amazon ruins. Walter is just about to reveal the secrets behind the statue when, all of a sudden and completely out of nowhere, a masked ninja runs in and steals the statue. The chase is on! This leads to an exciting fight through the snow-covered mountains that ends with Ryu retrieving the statue, only to get back and discover that, oh no! Walter Smith has been shot! He tells our hero that there are 2 different statues, and once they come together, it'll summon an evil demon that has been hibernating for 700 years. These are Walter's dying words. And just when it looked like it couldn't possibly get any worse for our hero, Ryu is captured at gunpoint by the CIA. For a ninja, this guy is surprisingly easy to abduct. Okay, so here's where things start to get convoluted. Ryu is held in front of a spook named Foster, who explains everything we need to know about those statues and the ruins in the Amazon. As it turns out, there's a guy named Guardia Demeu who has turned the ruins into a temple and plans on summoning the demon with the statues. If that wasn't bad enough, he's given himself the name Jaquio. Or is that Jaquio? You know, I never actually knew how to pronounce it as a kid. Maybe Google can sort this out.
Jaquio.
Huh, that sounded more like Zappio. I think I'm just gonna stick with Jaquio for now. Long story short, Ryu was sent to South America to stop the crazy guy from ending the world with a couple of statues. We end up fighting through an underground railroad, which leads to a sparsely decorated warehouse. After all that, we finally come face to face with the Jaquio, who has somehow managed to capture Irene and is holding her at knife point. And if that wasn't bad enough, Ryu falls through a trap door and has to fight his way out of yet another underground prison filled with enemy guards. But wait, there's more! Ryu eventually works his way up the mountainside to meet with Malth, a masked barbarian that seems to have information about Ken Hayabusa. The two fight, and Malth reveals that Ryu's father may still be alive. That's right, Ken Hayabusa didn't die. So here's what happened. Instead of dying after his fight with Malth back in the day, Ken was turned into a brainwashed henchman known as the Masked Devil. Now he's the only thing standing in the way of Ryu defeating the Jaquio and saving the world. It's the father-son title match we've been waiting for, and Ninja Gaiden doesn't disappoint. The good news is that Ryu quickly notices that there's a big clown nose on the wall and targets it, realizing that it's probably the thing brainwashing his dear old dad. He was right, and Ryu swiftly defeats the Masked Devil without harming his pops. They embrace, and things finally start looking up for the Hayabusa clan. But watch out, because the Jaquio has a trick up his cape. He fires an energy ball at Ryu, and Ken jumps in front to take the blast. Is he dead? We don't know. There's no time to worry about that right now, because the lunar eclipse is upon us, and the statue have summoned the ancient demon. It's time to fight. I think we can safely say that this was the best case scenario. We save the girl, discover our dead dad is actually still alive, slay the evil Jaquio, and save the world from some demon monster. There's no cynicism here, it's just an ending where everything you want to happen actually happens. What I like is that there's an added twist at the end where Irene's boss tells her to kill Ryu Hayabusa. This is clumsily written, like most things in the 8-bit era, but it turns what could have been a straight happy ending into something more. But then things get sappy again when Ryu calls her payment for saving the world, and then they kiss. Okay, so maybe Ryu isn't the smoothest ninja, but at least the game ends on a hopeful note. That'll be slashed all the bits in the 2 sequels, but for a brief moment, Irene and Ryu are happy and watching the sun rise over Jaquio's destroyed palace. It's a great ending. Hey, thanks for watching the first episode of 23 Endings, the early years. So here's the question of the day. What's the first video game ending that really wowed you? You already know that Ninja Gaiden did it for me, but what was the ending you most remember from your childhood? Leave a comment below and let me know. So we're going to be posting a new episode of 23 Endings, the early years, every weekday between now and Christmas. We'll be talking about Golden Axe tomorrow, followed by Metroid, Bad Dudes, and Double Dragon. We also have a review of Black Mirror going up soon, so I recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.